And we have plenty of drama, right? The Lions spoiled the Chiefs' celebratory, what should have been a good time, 21-20, which, by the way, Kurt Benkert, did you see this?
Nailed it.
The exact score.
Like he's the anti-K. Like he's like the bizarro K. Like I'm like 250 plus for Patrick Mahomes. Couldn't do it, but 21-20 in a gritty season opener. Kurt Benkert, come take my chair. Come take my seat, do it all. And if you guys aren't following him, definitely give him a follow. In case you need any more juice after watching the thriller to kick off the 2023 season, listen to Dan Campbell and what he had to say about his squad last night.
Now, let me ask you this. Did we expect to win that game? Yeah. We did, and that's exactly what we did. Because we built that fucking way, and everything we talked about was how it went down. We had to be patient, man. Offense, we go all the way down and score. Defense, we need a takeaway. We come out at halftime, we get a huge takeaway. I told you guys we're built for this shit. We can overcome anything as long as you guys just fucking hang with it. We got a ton to clean up when we get back. But until then, enjoy this.
On YouTube, Jerry Smith saying the Lions are roaring loud and proud today. I want to know what Dan Campbell sounds like this morning. Like, what does his voice sound like after that and after an entire game and raspy and just gone? And he should be so excited, and so should all Lions fans. The NFC North's looking super fun. We haven't even started Sunday action yet. So we know Travis Kelce wasn't out there. We know 95 wasn't out there. We know. But that should not take anything away from what the Lions did last night, going into hostile territory on a night where a lot of things didn't go their way. And they took down Mahomes and Andy Reid. That, my friends, is a statement win. And it was a masterpiece out of Dan Campbell and his staff. There was no fear. It was amazing. So much like safety and sense of security in what they were doing. They were in command. No sense of the moment being too big. The Lions were on fire. And it all started with Dan Campbell having the stones to do this. And everyone's talking about it at the old water cooler this morning from their own 17-yard line in the first quarter. After two kind of rough-a-rooski drives, this sparked the offense, and it resulted in a 14-play, 91-yard touchdown drive to get Detroit on the board. This set the tone, and the Lions don't win without aggressivo-ness, right? Gutsy calls from Campbell, not just that one, but over and over all night long. So Jared Goff gets a nice win. He picks off right where he leaves off this season. I mean, we saw flashes of brilliance. I mean, people are complaining weirdly about Jahmyr Gibbs and maybe his usage, his like how much he toted the rock in total, but he looked incredible with what we saw. To me, if I was to give like an award to my favorite part of the night outside of Dan Campbell, of course, and just his overall demeanor and command of this thing, I would say the defense deserves love. I mean, if you remember, the reason it was a bit of a struggle to say this defense is going to be better, this team is going to make waves in the NFC. This was a 31st ranked total D a year ago, the worst of the bunch, right? They made a ton of changes, and it already seems like they're getting returns. C.J. Gardner-Johnson, friend of the show, all over the field. Bless you. It's clear already that he's completely changed the complexion of the secondary. He finished with 5 tackles and 2 huge pass breakups. Our friend of the show, Brian Branch, we should have seen our group text last night. 10 people on it. It's green, by the way, because Eric doesn't have an iPhone.
Girl, man, come on.
People send videos in this. There's 10 people on it. There's 1 green texter.
What do you have to say for yourself?
I'm from Wisconsin. We all have
That's
Androids.
That's definitely
70% of
not
the world has Android phones.
Is that
Kay.
true?
That's true.
Marissa and I are the problem. We're the minority. Okay, sounds good. Brian Branch, who we love. We love Brian Branch. He got his first career interception. He runs it back for his first career touchdown in his first career game. Brian Branch, you're probably a blue texter, and we love you. I know the Chiefs had some, I mean, you know, I know, everybody knows the Chiefs had some drops out there. Why does Nelson Aguilar in that clip come to mind of that Philly fan and the fire? Okay, Kelce wasn't there. That sucked too. But the Lions made big plays, so I'm not talking about what the Chiefs weren't able to do. And if this defense, by the way, has truly taken a step forward, might be too early to say that, and it definitely looked like it did last night, the Lions team can be dangerous in the NFC, and you'll love to see the parody for the plot of 2023. Now, sure, should we get to the, Tony, you're welcome for the positivity. We appreciate that. C.J. Gardner-Johnson, we tried to get him on the show today. I love him. I want him on the show whenever we can get him. Should we look at the Chiefs side? I don't see many Chiefs fans chirping up in this thing. The absence of Kelce, clear for the offense. We're going to see a lot of overreacting with what went wrong with the receivers today. I do not think it is panic time. You know, when he's back in the fold, everyone's going to be walking around with their heads high and their game raised. So there's a ton of talent there for KC. Kadarius Toney and those receivers, it was a nightmare, and there's no excuses for some of those moments, but I don't think we can let one game define what any group of pass catchers is, especially without their best player on the field. It is a lot of pressure on Kelsey, but he eats that for breakfast, so it's fine. As for the Chiefs' defense, I thought they played pretty well without Chris Jones. This was an explosive Lions offense. It was a top 5 offense from last year. And Kansas City gave him trouble, right? You had George Karlaftis. He's a star on the edge. Bolton was great. And you saw cracks start to show as the game wore on, especially up front. The Lions beat them down in the fourth quarter, guys, with the run game. They held the ball for 10 minutes. I was bored. I'm trying to get these stupid 250 yards for this stupid boost parlay that didn't hit for some crazy reason. And this is why. Because they had the ball the whole freaking time. It was unbelievable. And Kansas City's defense, they struggled. They couldn't get off the field. They only sacked Jared Goff once, by the way, on 37 dropbacks. Shout out Carmen Vitale, who put me on the Lions offensive line, and Ragnow and everybody in preaching about how good they're going to be. Now, Veach and company, they got to figure out how to get Chris Jones, out of that suite and into the lineup next week. They got the Jags. Do not sleep on them. Cool. This was fun. This is cool. Who are these guys next to him? What is happening? Who are these? What? I didn't. What?
Tony and Paulie.
I never. Yeah. Okay.
That's Tony.
Yeah. Tony and Tony.
Yeah.
Tony and Vinny. These are agents. Got it. We love you. We love an agent. Yeah. So that's what's going on with that, and they got to get him in the lineup. They got the Jags. That won't be pretty, and obviously it's great that they have these couple of days to figure it out. And I'm glad they didn't play Kelsey. Give him the rest, no point. Get him out there and get him out there nice and healthy against Jacksonville. The other big story, obviously, week 1 is a liar. That's also a good point. Week 1 could be a liar. Hey, thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest Up and Adams content right on YouTube.